No, great work. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the idea.
So today we're going to talk about workflows. What is a workflow, first of all?
A workflow is a repeatable set of steps performed in a sequential manner over time, which enable people and systems to achieve a goal. Establishing workflows and ensuring that they are implemented effectively is a key factor in running a successful business. Most people use workflows in both their business and personal lives, even if they don't realize it.
Today we're going to apply that concept to our classrooms. And what do we do in the classrooms? Well, here's some ideas of things we do. We provide content. We allow for student interaction with content. We assign work. We receive work. We assess work. Sounds simple, but we know it's not that simple. So really quick, on your table there are some blank pieces of paper. So you're going to create a sketch. There's some pencils in the crate. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to create a sketch of what you think your workflow in your classroom is. And then we're going to talk about ways that we can streamline workflows. Think of the end users. The end users in a classroom are the teacher, the student, obviously administrators. They're end users. They're going to be affected by your workflow. So here's some ideas. We provide content. We teach. And then we let the students do stuff. Interact with the content. And then the students are tested or show mastery. And then we have to grade work. And then we have to... I like the way some of you are discussing with your partners. That shows collaboration. Obviously in 5 minutes you really don't have a time to be detailed. So just a rough sketch of your workflow. I'm noticing some people are linear, some people are cyclic. And that's okay. Okay, we're going to be modifying this as we go. So don't worry that it's not detailed. Don't worry that once I give you some ideas, you're going to say, oh, I do that anyways. That's okay. Because we do a lot of things probably more productive than we realize we're doing. But really putting it into a workflow on paper, on writing, or a sketch helps to save ourselves time. We're going to turn our workflow into a digital workflow using tools. So some options for providing content using technology as your friend are to use a learning management system. I know the main one we're using on Schuster is Edmodo. You can post videos, and I know we all like to go to YouTube to find a video, to a TED Talk, to Khan Academy, but the most powerful videos you can share with your students are videos of you talking, especially if you're going to assign homework, flip model homework to your students. If you're talking to your students outside of the classroom, they have your voice in their head. Granted, those Khan Academy videos, they're all amazing. However, when the student hears you explaining it in the terms you use in the classroom, it really helps them at home, especially if you're doing augmented reality or any type of tutorial where it can just pop up and they have a tutor at home. And they can turn it back in the same way we assign it. Students could read or watch content, annotate a written content using a reader program or app. We use Seesaw a lot, and I know in Seesaw you could literally, I know this isn't really redefinition, but you could literally take a picture of a worksheet, have them annotate or write on top of the worksheet digitally, and turn them back into you, either on Edmodo or in their Seesaw Learning Journal. And the benefit of that for you is that you're taking a device home or you're accessing your journals online. You're not carrying a stack of paper home anymore. So we want to think, how does technology help the workflow of the teacher? And it saves you time so you can spend, doing stuff like teaching kids instead of grading papers. So the classroom workflow with digital flavor. as I was saying, to provide content, and we plan, but even planning can be digitized to make it easier for us. Probably 90% of us use Planbook, and I know we don't all want to use the Planbook, but if we all did, we could even just share things, and it would just make things even more harmonious. So where do you start? If you're new to teaching, or if you're unfamiliar with technology and how to use it, some of us are using some things, but we don't know if that's improving our lives or actually making our lives harder. Because if I'm doing what I did anyways, and Seesaw Learning Journals, and Edmodo Wall, and Dropbox, and Google Drive, I'm not streamlining my workflow. Really, I'm adding 5 steps to my workload. So, investigate and explore the digital resources you have available to you. There are so many things that are free. I say explore because there's probably 100 tools to do everything. 100 free tools to do everything. If I want to make a graphic, I could use PictoChart. I could use Educreations. I could use Explain Everything. I could use a lot of tools. So it's what works for you. And if you don't know, if you just have an idea, talk to anybody next door to you. Twitter's a great place to find ideas. I know a lot of people don't like Twitter, but it's powerful to find people with interest. If you go on Twitter and you search reading intervention, I guarantee you're going to get more resources than we have ever had available to us. Or Google, or, you know, on Edmodo, there's the Edmodo communities that most of you are part of, some type of community. And that's really where I get my ideas from. You don't even have to create ideas. Develop some realistic individual goals based on your own comfort with technology and the way your current curriculum works. You don't have to change everything. So if I see that Sharon is like just teaching kids all day and I don't see any paper in her class, and I think I want to do exactly what she's doing, and so I try that. Well, if I don't even know how to log into Google, I'm not going to be productive. I could say, hey, help me with one thing, and then help me with another thing. So work together as a team. I was on a Blab, which Blab is like Twitter, but voice and face, with this speaker from Canada. And he made an analogy to teamwork, like, well, if I'm practicing on the sideline without my team, what am I doing for my team? So it doesn't matter how good I am. It really doesn't. If we aren't good as a team, it doesn't work together. So if I'm the best player on the team, yay, you become the best NFL team and you don't go to the playoffs. You know, we need to share. Every time you try something and it works for you, maybe they don't want to do it, but tell your neighbors. I'm sure first grade's like, oh my gosh, she has another idea. Oh my gosh. And they just say, great idea. And they might use some or they might not. But at least we share with each other. Tell people. They might not have the same style. They might not want to be crazy and do what you do, but that's okay. Just let them know what you're doing. And it's going to help them, especially if we have new teachers on the campus. Let's start them, what we're trying to get to, let's start them there. So if you need help, if you don't know, if you need ideas, we have a Schuster Tech website. So there's a contact here, and if you have any ideas that you want to do, like I just talked to Miss Orquiza's pre-K coach. She wants to do some stuff with pre-K for technology. So that's totally different than what 4th grade is going to do with technology. So if you have an idea you want to do with your class, you can ask me there. You can ask just ask. And I probably don't know the answer, but my passion is researching ed tech. And I'm growing this PLN, and I have this knowledge, not knowledge, but I know of people that know. So if you have any question, if you have an idea, you want to make your walls sing, I'll find you a way to do that. I don't know. Actually, you can. Augmented reality. 5th grade and Miss Carmona and I are doing an augmented reality science wall in her classroom. She's having the students create anchor charts that come alive through augmented reality. So if you want to know more about that, I can't tell you that in 30 minutes. But whatever you want to know, I can even do a tutorial video for you if you want. And as soon as we incorporate PBIS into our campus, we will be school-wide class dojo. And that's a good thing. because we can share our students with the librarian, with the coach. Most of us already do that. So it's a really good thing. The administrators in the cafeteria can have a special avatar or award that they give for good behavior in the cafeteria. When the parents see it, because the most powerful thing about Class Dojo is parent communication. They have Class Story now. If you haven't used Class Dojo in a while, there's a Class Story wall where you could post a picture of what's happening in your classroom. You don't have to post a picture of a student face. But every time I go to the science, I try to post something every day that we do in the class. Because I'm trying to streamline my workflow. I don't want papers. So we do a lot of projects. And the parents think, well, they didn't get a worksheet home, they didn't do anything. You know, I got little young students that aren't even trained in worksheets yet. They still are expecting that. And so I send a picture, and there's only 2 parents of mine that are not connected on my Class Dojo. Especially 3 through 5, if you use the Edmodo wall, students should be required to be collaborating with each other, responding to peers, learning how to do that, because they're going to have to in middle school. Next year, starting next year, our middle schools in the urban feeder pattern are going to be tech schools. So you see it slowly pushing, not slowly, rapidly pushing down to us. Our pre-Ks, universal pre-Ks, are going to be STEM pre-Ks. So maybe it's not pushing down, maybe it's pushing the gap. So we might as well stay ahead and teach the kids 21st century skills. Collaborate. I want to show you what I did for my classroom. And I broke my workflow into 3 things. What does the teacher do? What did the students do? And classroom routines. That if I just have a plan for me, what happens in the classroom? It's not going to work because my students aren't included in my plan. So when I'm doing this, my students have to be doing this, and I need routines for us both to follow. So the exit ticket is to take a picture of your screenshot, and I'm sorry we didn't have time. I was trying to go faster. We didn't have time for you to edit your screenshot to include what you could do digitally and add to it, but take a picture of your screenshot and then scan the QR code and turn it into Cecil.
And while you guys are doing that, just really quick, Stormy mentioned the Universal Pre-K. It's based on STEAM, and it is official. It's on the front page of the newspaper today. There's 8 schools, and Schuster is one of them that will be offering that for next year. So there'll be 40 slots open for Schuster for that.
And I began the training with Go Noodle Video. I don't know if I made the connection. Do this or do that. There's a million things you can do, but choose one. Choose something. Try it. There's people that will help you. Do this or do that.